Hello my dears, welcome to India's first animated live tuition. So I welcome you all to the next fabulous session of our biology sure short series. So now we have another chapter, that is heredity. From this chapter we will discuss somewhat case study questions, or we will be able to discuss some mathematical concepts which are involved in our heredity questions series. Okay, so before moving on to our heredity chapter, these are the mark distribution pattern for your board examination according to the updated 2023 to 2024 syllabus of 10th grade, which has been mentioned by our CBSE. So today we are going to deal with one interesting question, one mathematical question from our heredity chapter. So are you excited? I know you are super excited. I know you are very motivated to enjoy this session. Okay, before moving on to our question, I will just refresh your mind by giving one motivational quote. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for better tomorrow. So whatever you acquire during lifetime, you should understand the essence of that life experience, and that must be a prerequisite for living today's life. And that by combining all the information which you got yesterday and from today, you will be able to understand the essence of fruitful tomorrow. So work hard, work smart to achieve our dream career or dream or goal. That's our motive, is to secure or score 90 plus marks or full marks in our upcoming board examination. Our faculties are super excited and everyone is waiting for you, my dear champions. Okay, here is our important question. Shall I discuss that question? Yes, here is the question. And before moving on to this question, and this question is just for 3 marks. That means we need to score full 3 marks from this question, and I'm here, your biology tutor is here for explaining the concept very well. Okay, you have trust on me, right? Okay, the question here is, just read the questions very carefully. A particular type of tomato plant produces tall or short plants. Okay, that's enough. The sound seems to be good. Okay, the recessive homozygous genotype small d produces short tomato plant. Okay, the dominant allele, that is capital D, result in a tall plant. Yeah, we got 2 or 3 information from this question. The next part of the question is, 2 tall plants each carrying 1 recessive allele were crossed. Okay, what might be the percentage for getting tall plants after the cross? So first we need to derive some of the clue points which is mentioned in your question, hidden in our question. That is, recessive homozygous genotype small d produces short tomato plant. Okay, now we can write the point. Yeah, now we can write the point. The first clue is short tomato plant. Short tomato plant. The genotype for the short tomato plant is, genotype for the short tomato plant will be small d. Okay, you know that. Just write all the clue points which is hidden in our question. The next clue point is, the dominant capital D result in a tall plant. Okay, so dominant capital D result in a tall plant. Okay, there will be 2 conditions for that parallel generation of this tall plant. There will be capital D, small d, capital D or capital D, whether maybe in a homozygous condition or whether maybe in a heterozygous condition. Don't mention anything as tall, because for making confusing, they just introduce their own formula like capital D, small d. So while you if you are forgetting this capital D or capital D which has mentioned in your question, you should follow that symbols. Otherwise, if you're writing the small t something, you will get confused and you will not get any marks. So always, if the question doesn't mention any kind of the alleles or gene combination, you can use your own according to the instruction or according to your knowledge. You can use allele combination. Otherwise, they already mentioned about not the letter to be used for genotype. So you should always follow that genotype letter. Otherwise, you can use according to your convenience. According to your convenience, you can use whatever the genotype that you wanted for representing the phenotype. Like that means you can use any of the symbols if it is not mentioned in your question. So here they clearly mentioned that small d produces short tomato plant and dominant capital D result in a tall plant. So the next clue is two tall plants each carrying one recessive allele were crossed. Okay. So two tall plants each carrying one recessive allele were crossed. Okay. That means here the next clue is tall plant. Tall tomato plant. The genotype for the tall tomato plant will be capital D or capital D small d. Capital D in homozygous condition, capital D small d in recessive condition. Okay, so the exact question was two tall plants each carrying one recessive allele being crossed. That means we need to find out the genotype for this plant. This plant is taking as parental generation. Okay, so just write the genotype for this plant. And they already given the hidden clue that two tall plants each carrying one recessive allele has crossed. That means they are in heterozygous condition. It means capital D, capital D, small d crosses with capital D, small d, because one is recessive allele and next one definitely will be dominant allele, that is dominant allele for tall tomato plant will be capital D. Okay, so that means heterozygous condition, they are indirectly mentioning about the heterozygous condition of the parental generation. So our parents are, now we need to write down the parental combination, parents. Okay, so the male one will be capital D small d crosses with the female one, that is, tell me the answer. The female one will be capital D small d. So both are tall, which are heterozygous in condition, and just mention it as male and just mention it as female. So now we need to write the gamete combination. The gamete segregation will take place and each gamete receive either one of the two allele. And don't forget to mention after 1 minute, after writing the alleles, you should round it. That is a mandatory rule should be followed while you're writing the gamete combination. And here the gamete combination will be capital D and small d. Okay, so now we are going to cruise this and finally we will get capital D, and the next one is capital D small d, and we got capital D small d, and we got small d. Okay, that means this is tall, that is homozygous in condition. This is also tall, heterozygous in condition. This is also tall, heterozygous in condition, and this is homozygous in condition, and this is short. So now we got F1 generation. It's mandatory to write all the steps, otherwise your teacher will cut down your marks. Okay, so now we got the phenotypes. 3 ones are tall in nature and 1 is short in nature. And next we need to do, capital D and capital D small d representing tall feature, at the same time small d representing the short or dwarf feature. That means the phenotype ratio will be the phenotype ratio or phenotypic ratio. You can write it as phenotypic ratio. The phenotypic ratio will be tall is to dwarf or tall is to short. That will be 3:1. Okay, we got the answer. We didn't get the answer actually. We got the somewhat conclusion point. And the question, now you go back to the question. The question was, what might be the percentage for getting tall plants after the cross? So we just crossed all the things and we got 3 as tall and 1 as dwarf. That means out of 4, 3 ones are tall and out of 4, 1 plant is short. This is a ratio actually. Now we need to find out the possible percentage combination or possible percentage for getting our tall plant after this cross. Okay, then we need to, out of 4, just mention a step, out of 4 F1 generation, 3 plants are tall. That means we need to find out the percentage. We need to find out the percentage of tall plants in F1 generation. Okay, so how can we find out the percentage of the tall plants in F1 generation? It's very simple. 3 by 4 into 100. That is equal to 0.75 into 100. That is equal to 75% is the right answer. We got it. The 75% as answer. What do you mean by this? The percentage for getting tall plants in F1 generation is 75%. And write down the answer. Write down one step. Answer is 75%. Or rewrite the sentence as follows. The percentage for getting tall plants in F1 generation is 75%. That is the correct answer. Now we got the 3 marks. If you're not skipping any of the steps, you will definitely score 3 marks. If you are skipping any of the one feature or any of the one sentences which I mentioned here, which I taught here, you may get a chance for losing 0.5 marks. Okay, then I will ask you indirect question. What is the percentage for getting dwarf plants in F1 generation? So that will be 25%. Definitely 25%. So I'm just asking an indirect question. The indirect question is, what is the percentage for getting dwarf or short plants in F1 generation? That will be definitely 1 by 4 into 100. That is equal to 25%. Now we got one indirect question as well. Just write down all the points very carefully because I already mentioned all the steps in this. All the steps for the particular answer. Okay, so how was the session? I know it will be very awesome and it is going very awesome, right? So now we just understood all the clues which are included in one of the question of the heredity. So we can solve more problems like this. Okay, so the final answer will be 75%. So you have to write one sentence as a concluding point as, the percentage for getting tall plants in F1 generation will be 75%. So, my dear students, I hope it was very awesome session. You enjoyed this question, and if you need more questions like this, stay tuned with 90 Plus My Tuition app, and our faculties are very ready for discussing most of the questions like this. Until we meet you again in the next session, bye bye my dear students, and stay tuned with our 90 Plus My Tuition app.